How's it going, everybody? Hatcher Sits here, back to another PSA return video. So this one's somewhat of a boring one. I've done so many videos on these before. This is this is going to be One Piece, all the super pre-release starter deck one. I'm a big fan of this set, and I think long term it's going to be one of the best things to collect. I guess I hate saying invest in. I think that's just kind of like, I mean, if you collect stuff, you obviously want it to go up in value. I mean, that's the whole idea of collecting. But, you know, like you see this a lot in the Pokemon thing when everybody's just like, invest now. And it's just like, okay, like realistically, invest in 401ks and IRAs and stuff like that. I mean, yes, you want to collect stuff that's going to go up in value. I mean, people buy art because they want it to go up in value. I get it, but the whole investment strategy of this stuff, not so sure about that. But from a collecting standpoint, and I think long term though, I think this, if there is going to be a market for One Piece down the road of the card game, and it's around for a long time, I feel like the Romance Dawn and the super pre-release sets are going to be kind of front and center. That's what started it all. It's kind of like, you know, basic Pokemon, whatever. So I think if you're going to collect this is the best thing. Sanji from super pre-release, PSA 10. Like I said, this is probably going to be a boring video. This stuff does tend to grade pretty well. But I had a bunch of Sanjis. What I did is I opened up two super pre-release decks that I bought online. I still have like a bunch of them sealed still. And my dog's hair is getting everywhere around here. Don't worry, it won't be on your card. So I've pretty much sold through a lot of my stock, so I wanted to send in some to replenish my inventory. So, an 8. Whoa, what's going on here? Sanji, an 8? That can't be. What the heck? That usually would indicate like a surface scratch or something like that on there, but ouch. That's crazy. Well, I got another 10 here. I get so used to getting 10s in One Piece that sometimes I just gloss right on by stuff. Like one time I got a PSA 9 in a video, and I think I actually listed it as a PSA 10, and it was really weird. But anyway, so Nami, that's a really popular one, obviously because of Nami. 2, she's wearing a bikini. I mean, what are you going to do? Another Sanji, PSA 10. So yeah, I'd run out of Sanji cards. I ran out of pretty much everything, and it's the only, I think it was like Frankie and can't think who else. Usopp were like the only ones I had left. Like everything else sells just right straight through. But I think Frankie and Usopp also. So Vivi, I haven't got her. I just kind of like, is she really that popular? But every time I get her graded, she just sells really well. Very popular character, even though she's not in the show much. Then we got Gum Gum Jet Pistol. I think some of the events here, like Guard Point, they're going to have some nice value long term. Maybe just, I mean, collectability. Again, I hate to, like, here I am trashing investing, and then I'm like long term. I don't know, but like it's hard to not say stuff like that. But what I mean is just, I think they're going to be collectible. You know, I don't think you're going to retire on buying One Piece. Put it that way. Another Nami. Obviously very popular. Chopper was like, at first when these came out, it's like nobody really wanted Chopper. Now Chopper just sells like really well. Like everybody loves this character. Nami, I think once people started getting into the game, they were actually One Piece fans. Obviously like Zoro, you know, swordsman, that's really popular. Nami, you know, Nami's Nami, but you know, from the show perspective, I feel like when you talk to people that are favorite characters outside Luffy, Nami, and, you know, Zoro, you know, a lot of people love Chopper. It's a lot of Brook fans. Like, for me, it's like, I like Luffy. He's my favorite character, even though he annoys me a lot. It's just like just his powers and everything. And just, this is like really cool. So we got another Gum Gum Jet Pistol. got a Brook. Now Brook's only 2 per starter deck. Is one of those, which is interesting because he's one of the more playable cards. Like nobody plays them anymore, but it was one of the more playable cards at the start. And I kind of hate that that Bandai did that with a lot of the starter decks. Like the supers in the sets are usually very playable, but then they only give you 2 in a starter deck, and you have to buy 2 to get a play set of 4. It's kind of messed up. And Brook was, I want to say Brook was one of the only, some of the events are 2 per, I want to say, but Brook was like the only character that was like 2 per. So I only got 4 of these. It looks like they all got 10s. Very nice. So some of those will be going up in this store. More Vivi. I'm going to kind of go through this pretty quick. Nobody really wants to sit through all that. So we're just going to kind of see how many 10s we got. We got 88 cards here. So obviously we're not going to go 88 for 88 because we got the Sanji. Then, yeah, I actually had a lot of Vivi and Sanji sitting around like in top loaders. So there's probably more than the other ones. Like Nami, you're going to get 4 per deck. So we got 8 of those. Chopper's 4 per deck. So you're going to get 8 of those in here. And so on and so on. So another Vivi. Make sure these are all 10s. So we'll see. So, yep, these are all looking good so far. And the Nami was quite playable too. It was such a good card. It was like, you know, activate main. You give Arrested Dawn to one of your leader or one of your characters. So, you know, you could play like Rush Zoro for 3 and you give Arrested Dawn and they're swinging for 6, you know, or your leader. So that was always kind of cool. Nice ability. You just leave her up there. But with the game now, she's going to get removed really easily. There's so many removal cards in One Piece now, which I was talking to my niece about this the other day, and it kind of annoys me. Like, you don't even really battle in the game anymore. It's just removal by abilities. It's but I mean, you know, where are you going to go with the game? It's just, I don't know. I guess that's kind of a, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of grown into, you know, like a Yu-Gi-Oh type where, you know, it's just like your hand is your turn. You end up playing like 20 cards and like all these combos and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I get it. But you just can't have a bland game where you're just putting out cards and fighting and stuff like that. You know, I get it. You want to have other abilities, keep things kind of fresh. But honestly, it's caused me to not play that much. So unfortunately, a 9 here on Thousand Sunny. That sucks. That's a really popular one just because it's the Thousand Sunny. One of the ships. Is that the... I can never remember. That's their second ship, right? Their main ship, Thousand Sunny, right? I haven't watched One Piece in a few months because I'm stuck until they do more English dubbed. So unfortunately, I'm in the Egghead arc, and I forgot to check this week to see if they've released any new episodes. Like I can't watch them in Japanese and read subtitles. It's just not really. But I'm like jonesing to watch some, so maybe I should. We got Thousand Sunny, another 10. So I do want to put back, I think I have 2 of just about everything. I'm going to put back a couple of these just to hold on to. I want to have like 3 or 4 of each one just for my personal collection. And then the rest of them will go up. Oh, I forgot about this. We submitted a lot of Nami in this. Okay. Nami, these are the pre-errata version, obviously, because you'll see here it doesn't say errata. So, and you can tell that by look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal 1 Straw Hat Crew. If it said up to, could be the beta or it could be the 3rd version. There's actually 3 versions of this card. That's this one, which is the pre-errata. Then there's the second one, which in my opinion is just as rare. It says up to, and then it has character in it. And then the 3rd version, which is from the like the white, the blue. well, the white bottom boxes where they changed the shape of the cases and everything, they removed the word character. So the third version is the most common, I believe. It says, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck will reveal up to 1 Straw Hat Crew type card other than Nami. So don't do, essentially, what the card does, you could get this card. You could do the Straw Hat Crew Sunny. So they removed the character type, so you could get, like, I believe a event card. I think that's how it reads. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. That's how I understood the card changed. So you could search like events as long as they're Straw Hat Crew. You could search them. Another Nami PSA 10, and then these are the big dogs here. This is what you always want to get a 10 of. If you don't get a 10 here with a starter deck, you're probably still going to end up making money selling these. But, I mean, these sell for, I think I sold one a few weeks ago for like $340, which pretty much pays for the starter deck, which they're around $180, $200. And it pays for a significant amount of the grading fees. Unfortunately, PSA right now for one piece and other TCGs is like $18.99 a card. When I first started grading in One Piece, it was like $13 a card. So unfortunately, PSA has taken quite a bit of profit away from people that grade and resell cards. They did the same thing with sports years ago, and it just absolutely destroyed the market. It's kind of unfortunate to see, but because nice gem mint 10 of Zoro here. It's really unfortunate to see just because, you know, a lot of people, I have a job, a very, very well-paying job, but I do this I want to, like, when I do retire, I would like to keep doing cards, essentially. So, my whole thing is, like, you know, as long as if PSA keeps up in grading fees, that eats into people's ability to recoup money and put it back into their collection, which affects the single prices from everybody else. So, like, sports cards have done this where the sports card boxes are really expensive, which forces you to spend money in breaks, to buy into breaks for the teams you want. And then even if you do get a good card, it costs more to grade it than it used to. I remember grading cards pre-COVID for like $10 a card. Now they're like $20 a card. So they've taken $10 of your profit. But then if you get a PSA 9, you're probably going to lose money. So that's kind of they've really taken the profits, and the problem is that hurts the entire ecosystem because you're hurting collectors' ability to recoup their money and put it back into the market and buy other singles, and it kind of is cyclical in nature. So, and it's really hurt the sports card market because of that. And one of the reasons I got more into TCGs because I felt like, oh, you know, I can buy these at MSRP. I'm not too worried about it. I can grade for my collection and just kind of, you know, if I make a couple dollars back here and there, nice, another 10 of this. So that's both of these got a 10. That's awesome. I have seen some of these get 9s before. Usually they're ones that have probably been played with. That was a leader that a lot of people played with in the very beginning. I feel like the Zoro was a little bit more popular from OP01, but we got a Zoro 10 and another Zoro 10. Then we got the Luffy Super. So this is what I was talking about with these supers. They're 2 per box starter deck. So you'd have to buy 2 starter decks if you want to run 4 of these. And I believe this card, most people ran like 3 or 4. I mean, it's just an awesome card. I mean, people still use this card today. Red's not doing very well right now, but I mean, it has Rush. It's a 5 cost 6K, obviously. And your opponent can't, if you put 2 Dawn on it, they can't activate blocker. So it's a really good card to end games. Nico Robin, just a vanilla card there. I like Nico Robin. She's one of my favorite characters. I think her power is just cool, but there's so much more to her than just like doing hands everywhere. But like, you know, it's cool. It's a cool power. Another 10. I have to make sure I don't miss any. So only 2 non-10 so far. That's really good. I think it was super pre-release cards that I went like 88 of 88 or something like that one time, or 60 of 60. It was just like everything was a 10. And that's the great thing about One Piece. A lot of people don't like that, but I'll tell you, man, it's really kicking. You know what? If you saw me last video, like I was like 50-50 gem rate on my Pokemon cards. And that cost me so much because a lot of the stuff that I did want to sell, like instead of getting like, you know, $400 or $500 for a PSA 10, I'm lucky to get $80 to $90 for a PSA 9. And it's like, that's the kind of thing that just Pokemon is just really risky like that, you know, like look at like the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved. Like that card is like $2,000 in a PSA 10, I think. I'm pretty sure. But in a PSA 9, it's around raw price. It's like, I get it's hard to gem, but geez, that's insane. I'll take the PSA 9 at that point. You know what I mean? I think PSA 9s are undervalued. I mean, it's all about the card and it's all about the art, right? So, you know, it's still a mint card. It's just not gem mint. It's mint. It means it has just like one little flaw, but I have plenty of 9s in my collection. I mean, sometimes I'm like, oh, I got the 9. Why? You know, I'll sell the 10 and then I'm perfectly happy with the 9 in my collection because like certain cards, I know I'm not going to sell them and I like the art. So, you know, but with One Piece, you don't really have to worry about that because it's like pretty much everything gems. And people kind of use that as a way to slam One Piece in grading. Well, it's not rare because everything gets a 10, but I mean, dude, I'll take that any day because, and then we got a 6. Ooh, man. That indicates like a really bad, oh, is that corner? I wonder if something got damaged here in, man, that's a really bad corner. You can kind of see that. Okay. Well, we'll be cracking that one out. I can't tell if these are new or old slabs. It's hard to tell. I think these are the old ones, which I like better personally. They're easier to crack. The new ones are almost like rubber. Like you go to crack them and it's like you have to, like, I would crack the old ones and like it's really easy to pop it. The new ones, it is an absolute pain. This one feels like new and the other one didn't. I wonder. Wow, doing good on these. I had one where I submitted 10 of those and like half of them were PSA 9s. I was like, what? That's crazy. Ooh, and we got a 9. I say 9 and I speak it into existence. Unfortunately, we got the Luffy PSA 9 there. Not good, but we got a 10 right behind it to make up for it. So we'll take that. We got Nami, Priorata. Yeah, like this is such a good card to get into. Like if you can't afford the alt art, especially the pre-errata version, you know that's like in a PSA 10. Like last time I checked, it's like $700 or $800. We got alternate art Luffy. That's a Dawn. I mean, this is a really good option. It's usually, I think I sell these around $50 a piece, so that'll be in the store. Actually, I think that I have some of those in the store. They were laying around forever, and I was like, I might as well submit them. And then the last card is Nami, PSA 10. So I will take that any day. Like, imagine if I had a Pokemon thing and all those were 10s. That'll never happen for me. So unfortunately, we did get 4. Like, I'm not even mad. It's like, that kind of hurts, and that it hurts like which ones they are because I feel like the Thousand Sunny very popular, and these Luffy's sell for about $60 a piece. So, but it is what it is. Hopefully, I can sell it, make my money back. But, anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Very successful. I know it's probably boring. I've done several videos with these super pre-releases, but I just love them. And I figured I'd do a video and show my grade reveal. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.